there's a really famous experiment that this reminds me of that was done a couple of miles from where I am now, decades ago. Are you familiar with the Princeton Theological Seminary experiment?
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely.
It was testing something else, but they set up a supposedly needy person lying in the sidewalk moaning, and they wanted to see who would stop and help. And that's not punishment, but it is a costly form of altruism.
That's right. Yep.
And actually, what they found was, the people who walked by, they had prepped in two different ways. I mean, these people didn't know that the suffering stranger was a Confederate, but they had been told, they had all been told, you have to go over and give a talk now, and across campus on the other side of the theological seminary, and some had been told you're late, and some had been told you're not late. And it turned out, I mean, it doesn't sound shocking, but the people who were in a hurry were not inclined to stop. But right. The other thing was, I mean, they tested various, I think personality factors and so on, and like nothing was predictive except whether you were in a hurry.
That's it. That was the only one. And I think people ignore the power. I'm really glad you brought that up. One of the things we always talk about, I guess one of the worlds I traffic in is the world of social psychology. And one of the things we always talk about is situations have forces in them that we really can't anticipate the power of, right, unless we're in them. And that would be an example of that. We all think, oh man, some person in need looks non-responsive, sitting in the alley, looks like they're in bad shape. I would absolutely stop and see if they're okay, right? We want to hold that belief about ourselves. But in fact, the only predictor of whether you're going to stop or not is if you're in a hurry. Right. Being in a hurry really causes people to change their behavior away from what their best selves would do.
And if you observed them walking by, you would make a judgment about the person.
That's exactly right.
You'd say, well, that's a good person, and I bet they do that every time. But no, it's just a person in a hurry. It's just a person who is either in a hurry or not in a hurry.
Yeah.